Hi, I'm Jeremy Weaver, and today I want to talk about my past pornography addiction and masturbation. And I'm highly ashamed of my past, but I have to be open about it and come clean with it because I did these things and God knew about them, so why should I be ashamed to let people know about them? You know, and if me saying this can help anybody, I'm going to say it, you know, because there's a lot of people out there in this world that are struggling with this problem, and it's only getting worse by TV and media, everything, you know. They're just constantly pumping it in the minds of young children, and they're getting ruined. And it started when I was young, about 12 years old, you know. Had a friend that brought magazines and stuff to school, you know. We just looked at the magazines, then when I got home, looked up images on the computer. Then from images I found out videos. Then from videos I found pornography. And from pornography I went to masturbating, you know. And I'm highly ashamed, but I just need to say this, you know, help someone. First thing, you know, you got to realize it's wrong. And I know health class, they may say it's not wrong, it's natural, but you know it's wrong. Would you do it in public? No, you wouldn't. Why? Because your conscience would tell you there's something wrong with it. And if you couldn't do it in public, you have no business doing it because you know there's something wrong with it. And that's what I'm trying to say, you know, there's something wrong with it. And they can be like, it's natural, it's natural. No, there's something wrong with it. You're turning something God made beautiful into something just flipping it around, you know, and ruining it. It's something sacred and people turn it into just madness, you know. That is something to be shared between husband and wife, and people posting on videos on the internet and as madness, you know. And growing up in school, and then when I went to high school, you know, I knew there was something wrong with me, you know, because, you know, I would watch porn and I would masturbate and stuff. But then when I went to school, guys at school, they talk about it like it's normal, you know. They'd have contests about it so you could go the longest. They thought it was funny. I would never join in these conversations. I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? You know, I struggle with this every day, and it's just a joke to people, you know. So, but, and then when I would like girls or something, First I would just like playing around being a whore, you know, filming on girls, groping girls, you know, doing something I'm not supposed to be doing. But then when I like decent girls. I actually like girls I thought were decent, that carried themselves a certain way, you know. I clung on to them, you know. I got clingy, you know. I got obsessive with them because me seeing them as a better person wanted me to be a better person. But as soon as they were out of the picture, guess what? I went back to my old ways, you know. So, and then I realized, you know, only I can help make this change for myself. I had to decide this is what I wanted to do. And first thing I did was I decided that was what I wanted to do. But that wasn't me stopping, you know. I just hated myself. Every day I woke, every day I did it, I hated myself, you know. Then I remember during the summers, you know, I would stay up all night, wait till my family went to sleep, you know. I watched porn from like 2 a.m. all the way to 7 a.m. when my mom woke up for work. And then, so she wouldn't know that I was awake, you know. I pretend I just woke up when she woke up, you know, so I could lock the door for her to leave and go to work. Then I'd go to bed and wake up like around like 1 p.m., you know. And I remember this, you know, this is daily. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I did it, you know, because like it was that bad. And then I took a look at my little brothers and sisters, you know, and I was like, what if I forget to like clear out the history, you know? What if one of them come across this and they get hooked on it, you know? I realized that my actions could cause the ruin of someone else. And that's the last thing I wanted to do. That's not even the last thing. I never wanted to do that, you know? I never wanted my wrongdoings to ruin someone else. So that helped me along my way to changing and become a better person and stop what I was doing. Then I was raised under the teachings of God and the teachings of Jesus Christ, you know. I knew right from wrong. I knew everything I was supposed to, but I couldn't because I felt like it had such of a hold on me that I couldn't stop, you know. But the thing is, we all have the flesh and we all have the spirit inside of us, you know. The flesh is the part of you that wants to do the wrong thing. The spirit is the part that doesn't, you know. But if you constantly live it every day, you feed the flesh, you know, instead of the spirit, you know. You're not reading, you're not staying deep within what you're supposed to be staying in. You're not staying deep in God, you know. If you're not deep in God and deep in reading and deep in what you believe, you feeding the flesh, you know, because it don't matter if you're necessarily doing the wrong thing, you're still feeding the flesh, you're not feeding the spirit side of you. So then, when your flesh start having these burning desires to do the wrong thing, guess what? You're going to give into the flesh, you know? You can't be like that. And that's what I did for the longest, you know? And then, one of the biggest things I regret was, when my dad found out, you know, I lied to him. You know? Even though he knew I was lying, you know? That's one of the biggest regrets I have. Is I lied to my dad, you know? The person that was trying to help me, I lied to him. You know, it causes you to lie. It can ruin relationships, you know. It's just a dangerous thing. And people in the world, they pretend like it's not. It is wrong, you know. And a lot of people, they be like, I'm once saved, always saved stuff, you know. You cannot sin Monday through Saturday, then come to church Sunday and say, oh, I'm forgiven, and then start the cycle all over again come Monday. You know, no, you can't live like that. That's wrong. You know? And you think you're not gonna get nowhere but going to hell. That's the only place you're gonna get doing that. Because that's wrong, that's stupidity, that's foolishness, and that's just giving into the flesh. You can't be like that. You have to do things to build your spirit, you know, because flesh is opposite against the spirit, you know. At the end, when the end comes, you know, one of those, you're gonna have one or the other. You know, whichever one you give into, you know, if you give into the flesh, you know, the flesh part, the spirit part of you is gonna be taken. You're gonna be pure. It's gonna be that part of you, you know, and that's what you're gonna be judged by, you know. I'm saying, like, your spirit and flesh, these are the two things that are struggling within you, good and evil. Everybody has them, you know, and for the long, I was addicted to from middle school to early adulthood, you know, and it's pretty bad. But I'm glad that God gave me the strength to see what I was doing and to change. And anybody, no matter what, if you have a problem, whether it's pornography and masturbation, whether it's drugs, alcohol, you know, lying, theft, whatever it is, whatever your problem is, you know, you just have to. Basically, first thing you do is just know what you're doing is wrong, and know what you're doing is hurting yourself, and know that it's not what God wants for you. And you know that you can change, you know, no matter how much of a hold you think something has on you, you can change, you know. And while I was struggling, the devil made it seem like, you know, it had such a hold on me that I couldn't do anything but just give in. But I have a choice. We all have a choice, you know. And tips, I would say, something that would help, you know, find someone to confide in too, you know. Don't hide it, because that's just gonna make it worse. If you have someone to confide into, you know, that was another thing to help me, you know. I had a friend that I could confide into, and I talked to about this. We all have those. We all have that, you know. We all can do that, you know. We just gotta have the strength and the courage to do that. And another thing, you know, like I said earlier, why do these things in front of God, but then be ashamed to tell people about them? You know, God knows. So why be ashamed for someone else to know? That should be irrelevant, you know. God determines your fate. He determines everything, you know. And another thing is, you know, think about that. If you have younger brothers and sisters, would you want them to have to be going through the things you're going through? You know? You wouldn't, because it's horrible, you know. I hate it. Like I said, I hated myself. I felt like I was a straight seed of the devil, you know. I hated myself. I felt like I was just cursed, scarred, and had to, you know, I was going to live like that forever. And I hated myself because I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be that. I wanted to be better than that. And I was raised better than that. And you're better than that. So, you know, this is my story. I want to make a more in-depth documentary about it. But this is my story. And I'm sharing it because, one, I don't care what anybody thinks, you know. I care what God thinks. So I'm not going to be ashamed to tell my story. And second, if there's anybody I can reach out to or help, I'm going to do that. My name is Jeremy Weaver, and I'm going to make more videos. If you like to follow me, follow me. If you like it, leave a comment, whatever. Thank you for listening. Signing off.